Today, I'll be diving into a really important topic: the top two personality traits in women who have experienced narcissistic abuse in their relationships. And I believe this is a really important topic, number one, because there's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to the profile of an abuse victim. Number two, I also hear from so many women who leave these relationships and they come out of them struggling with toxic shame and extreme guilt for having been in a relationship like that at all. Many women who get out of a narcissistic relationship often feel like they should have seen it coming. And again, I hear this all the time from the women that I work with. They feel embarrassed, like they were stupid for falling victim to this kind of abuse. But here's the truth: if you're feeling this way, you're not stupid. You were likely manipulated and targeted, and that's something that can happen to anyone, even the most intelligent and self-aware individuals. So I just have to say, number one, you're not stupid. And number two, it wasn't your fault. Now, let's talk about a common misconception. A lot of people think that women who fall victim to narcissistic abuse are those who came from troubled homes. They've had a history or a long string of bad relationships. Maybe they have low self-esteem and lack poor boundaries. They may even be codependent. The fact is, this is an old stereotype that says these type of women are broken, but research shows that that's not true. In fact, it's not the case for most of these women at all. That information came from old studies from domestic violence shelters dating back 40, 50, 60 years. Sandra Brown, a researcher from Purdue University, studied 600 narcissistic abuse survivors back in 2014 and confirmed that those assumptions are far from the truth. She actually found that 60% of these women didn't fit that traditional troubled home or codependent profile. They were high functioning, successful individuals, people you would never expect to fall victim to narcissistic abuse. These women came from stable backgrounds. They didn't have a significant history of childhood trauma, and they were actually high functioning in their personal and professional lives. She did find that they had two personality traits that were in common across, again, 67% of that population of 600 that made them vulnerable to narcissistic abuse. Number one, they were highly agreeable, meaning they believed in the best of people. They believed that people could change. They were good team players, cooperative, and wanted to help. They also had trust in others and wanted to see the good in them. Second, they were highly conscientious. They were loyal. They had strong moral compasses. They were hard workers, always looking for solutions rather than blaming others. So these were ultimately the kind of people that you would want to hire or have on your team. And these traits are often referred to as super traits. And while they make people amazing in so many ways, they also, again, make them more vulnerable to manipulation by narcissists and more vulnerable to sticking in these relationships longer than we would envision ourselves doing that. So it's important that you know that these traits don't make someone weak. They don't make you weak or broken. In fact, they are what often make narcissists target you in the first place. Narcissists love people who are empathetic, cooperative, and willing to do the hard work to make things better. What happens is, unfortunately, over time, these women's function starts to deteriorate under the constant manipulation and emotional abuse that a narcissist gives. At first, they may not look like they're struggling, but after the abuse takes its toll, this woman often gradually starts to appear to fit that profile of someone with low self-esteem or poor boundaries, because your abuse erodes their confidence and sense of self. The damage narcissistic abuse causes is real, and it can change the way a person functions, often making them question themselves in ways they never did before. So if you've ever felt like you should have known better or have blamed yourself for falling into this kind of relationship, please hear me when I say it's not your fault and you're not stupid. Again, narcissists choose victims who are empathetic, conscientious, and good-hearted people. You didn't deserve it. If you've been in a narcissistic relationship and are struggling with the aftermath, with that guilt, with that self blame and shame, remember, healing is possible. And it starts with understanding the patterns that led you into that relationship, as well as these personality traits that you possess that are amazing, but may make you more vulnerable to narcissistic abuse. You're stronger than you think. If you're ready to start your healing journey, you can book a call directly with me by visiting the link in the show notes. I would love to support you along your journey.